There's going to be people who cannot be swayed by a Noah Samson, who cannot be swayed by a ContraPoints, who cannot be swayed by a philosophy tube, and they will need a Vosh or a Xander Hall or a Demon Mama to bring them around. All right, I think it's time to talk about YouTuber drama. That's the time. It's time to talk about YouTuber drama. And I hate that I got to do it, but we got so much stuff to talk about. So much has happened in the interpersonal conflicts between all the YouTubers that I care about, and we got to talk about it. So let's get into the fan art section, and then let's go ahead and get right into everything. So the first one here is from Reikaru Mushi. Suris told me not to post sexy neck coin, so I did a close-up as well. The next one we have is from Jet. Said Blizzy-chan is here because apparently y'all can't help but turn every single thing on this channel into a waifu. Do you see this bean over here? This little adorable bean? Do you see him? He is not a waifu. If you fan art, Discord, whatever, you do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that other fun stuff. We gotta talk. We gotta talk about the drama. We gotta talk about the drama. Did you know what Vosh did recently? Do you know what the fuck this man did? Do you know? I don't, but you probably do. It involves horses, right? What about Xander Hall? Do you know the last thing Xander Hall did? Oh my god, wasn't it so terrible? I don't know what the fuck it was. You probably do, though. Somebody talked about it. Demon Mama, oh my god, can you just think about the terrible things Demon Mama has done? Maybe. Possibly. The fact is, I actually haven't paid attention. I haven't paid attention to any of the drama. There's a little bit that I've paid attention to with, like, Shoe on Head. But realistically, who's angry at who, and for why, and what have they done, and oh my god, let's get mad at Keffels today. Let's get mad at Vosh today. Let's get mad at Zan today. Let's get mad at Demon Mama today. Oh my god, did you know what this left-leaning streamer did? Did you see how problematic that— Shut the fuck up. No, seriously, every one of you, stop. I don't think any of you understand. I don't think you understand. Here in the United States, we have Republicans right now who are actively trying to begin a genocide against trans people through the policies they are endorsing and the rhetoric they are embracing. The idea of banning certain types of gender expression in the United States has been floated by Donald Trump. The idea of making it to where it is impossible to teach children about different types of people as they are growing up has been pushed by DeSantis and more. Marjorie Taylor Greene has accused every single type of LGBTQ person of grooming. Alex Jones has. Everybody has. Everybody in your right-wing political sphere, your Matt Walsh's, your Ben Shapiro's, all of them have done this. Every one of them has done this. And yet somehow, for some stupid reason, we are concerned more often than not, and I'm guilty of this too. I've talked about shit Thought Slime has done. I've talked about shit Vosh has done. I've talked about shit that Keffels has done, Chud Logic, etc. I've done it too. We've all done it. But I want you to consider for a minute who your actual fucking enemies are. I've made a video about pragmatic leftism before, where I tried to lay out a case that there's always going to be a different type of person required to help someone on some stage of their life journey move away from extreme right-wing propagandic bullshit. I have done that video before, and I'm not going to rehash everything said in that video, but the basics of it are, there was a time where we had a big thing between debate bros and video essayists as people who did types of content. There were a lot of video essayists that said that debate bros were ineffectual at converting people from right-wing ideas to the left, and the people they were converting to the left were people we didn't want anyway because they were assholes, and people on the debate bro side were saying, hey, not everybody wants to sit down for your 1-hour documentary on something, or your 10-hour documentary on Harry Potter, or what have you. I believe Lily did that one recently, the brief thing on Harry Potter. And Not everybody wants to sit through that, so the debate bros would come in and say, hey, nobody wants that. We convert people away from stupid ideology by engaging actively with the Nazis and Nazi-adjacent people that people talk to, that people constantly have parasocial relationships with. And then there are people like me who are stuck somewhere in the middle where we do mostly just React-Andy content. And are we debate bros? Are we video essayists? Well, no, we're neither. We're somewhere in the weird bastard stepchild middle of all of that. Media analysts might be the best word. But the summation of the video was there's different strokes for different folks. There's going to be people who cannot be swayed by a Noah Samson, who cannot be swayed by a ContraPoints, who cannot be swayed by a philosophy tube, and they will need a Vosh or a Xander Hall or a Demon Mama to bring them around. And then, likewise, there are people who are never going to be convinced by the debate bro tactics of the Voshes or the Xander Halls because they're not there to listen to reasoned debate. They're there to hear blood sports and just blood sports, but maybe a reasoned video that goes into the idiosyncrasies of being trans or being on the left or what anti-fascism is. That might actually convince them because they put it on as background noise or autoplay hits it at some point in their YouTube algorithm and they're just too lazy to turn it the fuck off. You never know what type of thing is going to convince somebody to move away from shit ideology. So as a result, it's better to embrace most ways that people might turn away from shit ideology because you cannot control what will change somebody's mind. That's the idea of pragmatic leftism. The idea that we need different approaches for multiple people. There's no way to tell who's going to be able to do what, so why not go ahead and use the scattershot shotgun approach? How does this relate to the YouTube drama thing? Because there's this really weird thing that has happened in leftist communities, and it's something that I've noticed that doesn't happen in others, but it happens in a few of them. When you think of like a Beau of the Fifth Column, think about how often Beau has actually talked about other content creators in a negative light by name. I've never seen it happen in any of the stuff that I've watched of his. And I'm not saying Beau is better than Vosh or better than ContraPoints or better than anybody. I'm not. What I'm saying is, if there is an example to take, it is an example of somebody who is just talking about the issues, who is just talking about the ways that people are affected. A lot of us who came to the left came from very regressive, very right-wing ideologies. And not all of us have been able to cast every single one of those ideas that we grew up with to the wayside. But here's the thing. Sometimes not casting all of those ideas to the wayside is what makes you more convincing to somebody who is just marginally to the right of you. And that brings them further to the left too. By addressing the things and the grievances that we have with each other in private, we can course correct for problems that we have and grievances that we have and problematic ways that people have engaged without showing a fractured front to audiences. Because there's this really stupid thing that happens. We are content creators, and we are slaves to numbers. We are wage slaves like anyone else. And there are content creators who will end up chasing those numbers when drama happens, and will focus on the interplay, the interfighting, and the drama. And there are people who are there just to watch that drama. They want to see creators fall. They want to see Vosh finally get taken down off of his pedestal. They want to see Hassan fail. They want to see Destiny fail. They want to see Contra fail. They want to see anybody, and everybody that I just named are on different areas of the political spectrum. Somewhat-ish, left-ish for some, and farther to the left for others. But the point is, it doesn't matter. The nuances of where each of these people sit politically, fuck it, it doesn't matter. There are actual politicians in actual office right now that are putting actual policies forward that actually hurt people, especially right now, trans people being the biggest focus of conservative ire. And I guarantee you, every single person I named there cares about those policies, cares about getting them reversed, cares about making sure that those policies do not get pushed forward. And yet, because there are great numbers in watching blood sports and falling outs, a lot of people are concerned with the drama. The drama between two leftist streamers. Oh, are these two leftist streamers still friends? Did they have a falling out? Let me follow it like I follow celebrities in magazines. Let me do that right now. No, you fucking parasocial idiots. Please unplug from that. These are all people. And I guarantee you all, or at least most of us, want to see policy changes that will make things better for minority groups. And as a result of those policy changes going through, we could also maybe, push for better things to happen to workers and people who are disadvantaged in the United States. Because being on the left is not all about just supporting minorities, it's about supporting everybody. It just so happens that there are minorities that constantly get attacked. And so that's what we end up having to argue against the most. But I guarantee you working class people are not the minority, and yet we still ends up having to do that. But apparently, somehow here, and it's on the left and on the right, but somehow here we have this obsession with people's failures and shortcomings and everything. And instead of airing our grievances about those shortcomings in private, we have this really weird habit, and I'm literally doing it right now, about talking about it publicly and trying to get views on a video for it. And yeah, there's a giant bit of hypocrisy for me talking about it this way in a video right now. But if I were to scattershot and talk to every single friend of mine who has ever engaged in this way, I would accomplish almost nothing, because as a different creator, they have opinions about how I do my content, and I have opinions about how they do their content. And all of us are prideful enough to disregard the opinions of each other when it comes to our own content if each of us are experiencing our own successes. But I would implore creators and viewers together, if we recognize that there are issues that need to be addressed right now. Specifically, the ones I'm talking about are issues with Republicans in Congress pushing trans bills, ones that negatively affect the trans community, pushing bills that cut away people's social security, pushing bills that cut into people's food stamps. I would implore audiences and creators both to spend more time focusing on those things, and on top of that, if possible, work more on collaboration than competition. Instead of trying to find whatever drama you can find between two creators, see which ways those creators could work together instead. Instead of sitting in the background going, oh, I wonder if Vosh and Xanderhall are going to have a falling out over this thing that one person said. Or instead, think, hey, I wonder what ways they can work together to reach a broader audience to try to make it to where the left has a better chance in the social zeitgeist. Maybe that's more important than your petty fucking drama. Maybe. Just maybe. And maybe I'm just upset because I've been watching this shit happen more and more and more. The most recent thing is people getting mad at Keffals. She apparently platformed somebody who has done some really fucking yikesy shit, and specifically did yikesy shit to a specific person who talked about it on Twitter. I don't want to name names because I don't want to re-bring up traumas for people who are not consenting to that. But as a result, we've got a whole bunch of people, including Thought Slime, who are getting angry at Keffals for being Keffals. And again, I'm guilty of this too. I've done the same shit too. But again, if we would focus more on collaborating, if we would focus more on raising each other up and then talking about our grievances with each other in private, like adults, instead of airing everything out like a fucking high school drama, then maybe we would be able to get a lot more things accomplished, and maybe all of our communities wouldn't be as fragmented as they are and would be a little more whole. And when you have big, whole, lefty communities, you know what you can do? You can do things like negotiating for creating unions in various workplaces. You know what else you can do? You can fund PACs to make sure that politicians that you need to get in office can get in office. You know what else you can do? You can organize phone banking easily. It's not rocket science that unified fronts work better than fragmented ones. You want to keep more Republicans out of office? Get a unified idea and a more unified left that operates more as a cohesive unit, that disregards many of the small idiosyncrasies between various groups that they have, and instead of addressing all the ways they're different, why don't we start talking about the ways that we're the same? Do we all like capitalism? No, we don't. So we agree on that. Okay, cool. Can we find ways to make life better under capitalism? Yeah, we're all pretty fucking smart. We can probably do that. So why don't we do that instead of finding the various ways in which the communist over there and the socialist over there don't fucking like each other? I don't care that the communists and the socialists over there don't like each other. They may have different end goals, but they've got a lot of the same short-term goals. And we can't even accomplish those fucking short-term goals if they're too busy arguing about fucking theory. None of that matters. So does phone banking even work anymore? Yes, it does. The more time somebody hears a politician's name in a positive light, the more likely they are to vote for that politician. The more readily somebody can access a politician's policies, the more likely they are to vote for that politician. There are people who may not budge, especially in districts like mine where Marjorie Taylor Greene has a foothold. But you notice Marjorie Taylor Greene also engages in phone banking and also engaged in her own campaign because those campaigns are effective. Dropping down signs, knocking on doors, stuff like that is still effective. It's why politicians still do those things in their marketing campaigns. And I'm not saying that we should advocate for every Democratic politician that's out there, but if we want to see things like, the Republicans not having the 6 extra seats in the Senate that they do right now, then maybe it would be a good idea if more of us got up off of our asses and either used our platforms for that or otherwise started doing that stuff in a way that we can. If you've got a platform and you can advocate for something, fucking do it. Please. That's the thing you can do. So I know this is a very ranty video, this is a very complaining video, but the point is, more people seem to be concerned more often, and maybe it's just my exposure to the toxic space that is Twitter, but so many more people seem to be concerned with the drama between streamers than the actual shit those streamers are advocating for. And I feel like if we cared more about the shit those streamers are advocating for, maybe we would be campaigning more for cooperation between those streamers and those content creators than we are right now. I have my disagreements with every person I have named in this video. Every fucking one of them. And you know what those disagreements amount to for me? They don't matter. A lot of us are fighting for the same thing. So I don't care that there's disagreements. Because I know that at the end of the day, we want a lot of the same things. And those same things that we want would help a lot of people. More unions helps a lot of people. Social Security being expanded, Medicare and Medicaid being expanded, that helps a lot of people. Healthcare for all helps a lot of people. Education for all helps a lot of people. Trans rights helps a lot of fucking people. I wouldn't care if a single one of those creators reached out to me right now and said, hey, do you want to do a video together talking about any of the issues we care about? Because quite frankly, with where we are right now, especially in the States, with how bad shit is getting, especially for trans people, we should be way more focused on solving that problem than solving our problems with each other. We're creators. The problems we have with each other don't matter as much as we fucking think. So, in short, maybe we should focus less on drama and focus more on helping people who fucking need it. If we're political commentators, this is literally the shit we do in our space. The drama between political commentators matters a lot less than the things that we can accomplish with our platforms. And if there's a political commentator that you don't like because they've personally done something bad to another political commentator that you like, are they still generally on your side? Ask yourself that, because if they are, maybe see what you can do about helping those creators not burn their bridges, but build their bridges back. Get their communities talking again. Instead of having people have year and multi-year long grudges with one another, get them to repair those bridges so they can start making content together again. Just my 2 cents. Fill in the blanks on which creators you think this applies to, because this is a generalized rant. Maybe in 2022 we can focus more on making things better for people who need communities, as opposed to people who need fights. Insert end video tagline here.